All right, let's pivot to the main slate and let's start with some stacks that we like for week number 6. We got.
Well, let's not overthink this one. This is too much fun not to double stack, but let's go. Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, and Gabe Davis. I know it's gonna be chalky, I know, but we have to do it. I think that if you do this, you have to get super contrarian with the rest of your team, which I'm pretty good at. So I have to go with that one. I can't let that one slide. But the other stack that I think might be overlooked this week is Aaron Rodgers and Romeo Dobbs against the Jets. It's not the easiest matchup. I think the Jets secondary is pretty underrated. However, I do like the idea of buying low on this stack after a quiet week from Dobbs. He only got 3 balls for 29 yards, no touchdown. But he's still developing. This is his rookie season. And it's pretty clear he's going to be Rodgers' number 1 target the rest of the season. So I want to get ahead of this. We have yet to see a true ceiling game from Dobbs. I know it's coming. It's coming soon. So I want to get it on it before, not after. So this is a stack I'm going to be investing in until it goes off. So this week, I think Rodgers and Dobbs is probably my favorite stack.
Would you consider including like a third guy in that, like maybe a Randall Cobb or anyone like that?
No,
or
get out of here with that. No,
really?
No, this is.
I think Cobb looks really good. I
no,
mean,
Cobb
they have Sauce Gardner and
yeah,
and Reed on the outside. So I'm thinking, Cobb in the slot, he could put up some numbers again.
Yeah, that makes sense. And it looks like Watson. It looks like he retweaked his hamstring. So it surprised me if he's playing this week. So that does open up more snaps for, like a player like Cobb. So yeah, Cobb has looked good. But I'm investing in like a Dobbs, 8 catches for 135 yards and 2 touchdowns type of game. Like that's what I'm looking for. So Randall Cobb, he can't take part in that. It's going to be a massive, massive Dobbs game. And it's coming too. It's coming.
Oh, I hope it is, man. He should have had that 2 touchdown. He should have had that game against the Patriots, but then he got the touchdown.
Yeah, at the very end there. Yeah, exactly. He just missed that. But no, I'm fine with Cobb as more of a dart throw later on. But no, this stack has to be just Dobbs going off.
There you go. You heard it here first. Anything else there?
No, that's it.
I got 3. I got 3 that I like a lot. First one is Geno Smith, DK Metcalf, and Tyler Lockett. So not only is this stack great for the matchup, they're going against Arizona, that's 26th in pass defense DVOA, but it's incredibly cheap. Like Geno Smith is 5,700 on DraftKings, DK Metcalf's 6,800, and Tyler Lockett is 5,600. On FanDuel, Geno is 7,400, Lockett 75, and Metcalf is 74. So like massively cheap stack. By the way, Geno Smith on the year, fantasy QB 5, Tyler Lockett, fantasy wide receiver 8, DK Metcalf, wide receiver 13. So you're getting a top 5 quarterback, 2 top 15 receivers for like an average of about 6K on DraftKings and like, 7K on FanDuel. Like this might be one of the best, like just value wise, one of the best stacks of like opportunities of the year. I'm sure it'll be fairly chalky, but like you said, you could, first of all, it's a 3-man stack. So it's a little easier to kind of, it probably won't be as popular as like Geno Metcalf or Geno Lockett individually. But yeah, you could just go contrarian at other spots, but just love the value there. Then another one, this is going to be a little more off the radar, but Kenny Pickett, Deontay Johnson, George Pickens, another very cheap one. Pickett is just 5,200 on DraftKings, Deontay 5,700, and Pickett 4,600. So you're averaging about 5K on DK and around 6K for them on FanDuel. And remember, Pickett did throw for 327 yards in a bad game script last week, and now he plays the Bucs. So it's another game script that, I still think the Bucs are better than what they're putting on the field. I can't believe they didn't cover last week. That's just absolutely absurd that they let the Falcons back into that game, running the ball of all things. But Carlton Davis got hurt for the Bucs, top corner, and Sean Murphy bunting. So the secondary could be a little banged up. And I think it's only a matter of time before Pickett, gets a couple touchdowns in there, throwing the ball. That Deontay and Pickens make about 3 to 4 just ridiculous catches each game, and like they'll get like one toe will be like a centimeter out of bounds and it won't count. But like believe me, they're gonna make plays for Pickett sooner than later. And I still think he has rushing upside. I think he got 10 yards last week, but I still think he has I'm projecting him around 18. So like the cost of the stack, and just it's going to be under the radar after they scored 3 points last week. And then the final one I'll mention, and you talked about this player on our fantasy projections pod, which is out right now on the Action Network, podcast channel, but Cam Akers. Let's give Cam Akers a shot here. The Rams are double-digit home favorites. Cam Akers, 87% of the backfield touches. Henderson did not get a touch last week. Actually, no, Akers got all of the backfield touches. The wide receivers got some touches, but backfield-wise, Akers got all of the touches. So all 13 last week. If there's ever a time for Akers to hit, it's going to be in this spot. He's only 5,300 on DraftKings and 61 on Fanduel, and I'm stacking him with the Rams defense special team. So you're paying up for the Rams, but getting a cheap running back. So the stack still averages around, $5K. And PJ Walker for his career, 6.3% interception rate. That's about over 2x the norm with the league average, closer to like 2.5x the league average, almost 3x. The league average is around 2.1, 2.2, 2.3%. He's at 6.3 for his career. And then his sack rate is 9.2%. So that's also 1.5x higher than the league average. So PJ Walker should be giving to the Rams defense. And if that's the case, I think you see Akers could potentially push for 20 carries in this one. And Carolina giving up the 7th most fantasy points per game to running backs. So the matchup is pretty solid as well. And remember, they fired their defensive coordinator. So, in the short term, that might not be ideal. Phil Snow is actually doing a pretty decent job. It's just that he was Matt Rule's kind of crony. So he got canned with him, but like Akers, Rams D this week.
Yeah, I love all those stacks. And I think at this point in the season, I just Gino, DK, and Tyler double stack is like an auto play for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to keep mentioning that every week, but I agree with that. And yeah, I love the Steelers stack. And, Pat Freiermuth, he's in the concussion protocol. He might not play this week. So maybe this stack ends up being a little bit obvious, but either way, ton of upside there. I was disappointed to see Pickett not scramble as much. He only scrambled once for 10 yards. I think it's because they're trying to get it out of his hand quick. He's just, his time to throw is very fast. But certainly he has some sneaky rushing upside too. But either way, I love this stack because he is funneling a lot of these targets to Deontay and Pickens right now.
Yeah, they're two best receivers on the team. So
yep.
Makes sense. Who do you like for dart throws?
So I have one for each position. So at QB, I think Daniel Jones, I think he's the cheapest quarterback. It looked like his ankle injury wasn't too serious because he still managed to rush for 30 plus yards. He's just way too cheap this week. I think he does need either Wan'Dale Robinson or Kadarius Toney to return ASAP because he needs some weapons. But we just have to remember that he's playing with just a skeleton crew right now. It's absolutely horrible. So I like him long-term. Hopefully he gets one of his guys back this week, but I think given the rushing upside, he shouldn't be, min price. So I think he's a good dart throw this week. I think DJ Dallas is interesting at running back. Everyone will and should be all over Kenneth Walker this week. He's too cheap on every site. And he's going to be an RB2 or more the rest of the way with Rashad Penny out for the season. But I can't tell you how many times in these spots it's actually been the backup running back who actually is the nuts in GPP the very first game in one of these situations. So I think DJ Dallas is just a sneaky GPP play since his rostership will be way too low and he's nice leverage against Kenneth Walker. Again, I think you should have a ton of Kenneth Walker shares out there, but DJ Dallas is a very sneaky contrarian play this week. And then Zay Jones, he's 4,200 again this week. Against the Colts. This reminds me of T. Higgins being stuck on 5,400 last year. It seemed like there was some glitch and whoever was setting the prices spreadsheet or something. But Zay Jones should not be 4,200 anymore. He looked close to 100% last week after missing week 4. He only went three catches for 12 yards, but he did see 8 targets. It's time to get back on the Zay Jones train against the Colts this week. Again, just taking advantage of this super cheap price tag this week. And then at tight end, I think Dawson Knox is an interesting pivot. I'm going to have a ton of Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, Gabe Davis lineups. How could you not? But I think Knox is a good pivot just in case he ends up getting, 1 to 2 touchdowns in this game. Could catch people off guard by having an Allen Knox stack this week in what should be a high scoring game. So I think Knox is pretty sneaky at tight end this week.
Yeah, he got that, got the week to rest. Yeah, he should be back. Yeah. I think they kind of felt good about where they were at against Pittsburgh and didn't want to rush anybody back. So they held out a bunch of guys. I think they'll be ready for this matchup, which makes sense. I like all those. I got a bunch as well. At running back, the obvious guy I'll mention is Eno Benjamin. We don't know yet exactly what's going on with Connor and Darrell Williams, but both of them are banged up. So Benjamin led the backfield with 54% of snaps last week, and he's been looking pretty good. I mean, he had 11 touches last week. I think you could see an increase, even if those guys are healthy, because he just seems like the healthiest guy and the most explosive guy in this backfield right now. And it is a great matchup against the Seattle Seahawks. So like Benjamin this week, but hopefully like at one of those two guys suit up so that we can get Benjamin's rostership lowered. But Seattle's 26 in DVOA against running backs in the passing game, and then they're not a good run defense either at 24th. And then at wide receiver, there's a whole bunch I like. Alec Pierce is still I think too cheap at 4,300. He ran a season high 75% of routes last week. His 0.2% target per route rate is actually higher than Michael Pittman's at 19.9%. So if Pierce keeps seeing an increase in routes, it's like he's going to kind of challenge Pittman for that number one target role in Indianapolis. So like Pierce, Rondale Moore, 93% routes run on the season, averaging 5 catches per game, and great matchup against Seattle. Taekwon Thornton is a dart throw. Looks like Nelson Aguilar got hurt last week. Taekwon Thornton ran 64% of the routes in his first game. Now, I don't know if that was just because of Aguilar's injury or not, but Devontae Parker got essentially, after having a bunch of good games, he just barely played last week. So I don't know if they're like waiting to get Thornton involved and like now the rotation's going to change again. But outside of Jacoby Myers, it's been kind of a crapshoot. But the fact that Thornton ran so many routes in his first game tells me that he could be a full-time player as soon as this week. So he's still min priced. Love him. Another ugly one, if you like a kind of a pivot off Pierce, Harris Campbell is 3,400, but he ran a route on 98% of the dropbacks last week and 85% for the season. So just a cheap source of routes. Same thing with Shi Smith, 71% of routes last game, 75% on the season. New offense, new coach, so you never know. Things might switch around. Maybe he doesn't, but another cheap source of routes. Darius Slayton, 68% routes last game, 64 the game before, but he has over 1,500 yards, 9 touchdowns career with Daniel Jones. So he has the most chemistry with Jones. And he took over for David Sills. Like they're finally not just trotting David Sills out there for like 90% of the snaps. So I like the chemistry him and Jones have. And then Randall Cobb, mentioned him, 4,400, 71% of the routes, 3 red zone targets last week and 2 inside the 10, plus a 6-catch, 99-yard day. And Rodgers did say, I want to get Cobb more involved. Mm-hmm. So like, I think Cobb is, especially in this game where the Jets have 2 great outside corners, I think Cobb could be a factor. And then a tight end, it's got to be Hayden Hurst. He's just 3,300. And he ran a season high 86% of the routes last game. And T. Higgins is banged up. So Hurst probably will be chalky, but 3,300, that's a pretty good price. Maybe use him in cash games actually more so than a dart throw.
Yeah, love the Hurst call. He's the guy I have by far the most exposure to in best ball. There's a point I was getting him outside of the top 30 at tight end. So it's been good to see. I think, all these too high looks the Bengals are seeing, that's really opening it up for Hurts over the middle. So love him going forward. And I wanted to ask you, I didn't throw this guy out there in the dart throw, but since you mentioned Shi Smith, I'm going to throw him out there. But Tutu Atwell, what do you think about him?
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see more routes. I think he only, what did he get, like, was it 18%?
Yeah,
but he had that deep target, right? And he caught a 54-yarder. I mean, here's the thing. Like, I tweeted this morning, when Van Jefferson comes back, who's getting benched? Skowronek or Robinson? I think it's probably Robinson gets benched. Like, is it possible? I mean, Robinson's done absolutely nothing. And he did see his routes dialed back to 86%, a season low last week, where that's the same as Skowronek. And then Atwell was a season high 16%. So it seems like Atwell got like a route or two that A-Rob would usually get. I mean, do you think we could see this continue?
I think that's a very interesting question. And that's going to be interesting to see. I don't know what the answer is yet, but I think Atwell is his own entity. He's more of that D-Jax role we saw when he was on the Rams last year. They've been lacking a vertical element. So I think that they're going to send him out there, a few times a game running a go route. So I just think that he probably doesn't need to see that many snaps to be a GPP play. I'm talking like Millie Maker kind of play for Atwell right now. But yeah, going forward, more long-term, like the wide receiver 2 or 3 position. I wonder if Skoranek is sort of the number 3. Van Jefferson will be the number 2.
Yeah. So
like,
I mean,
for sure.
So Skoranek has a chance to play over
3?
A-Rob. He outproduced him on fewer routes. So,
absolutely. No, I agree with you. That's going to be interesting to see, if not like more of a committee. But yeah, I think Van Jefferson is clearly going to be the number 2. And then it's kind of a battle between Robinson and Skoranek. So, but again, Atwell doing his 20% routes run thing.
I could do it. I could get behind that. Yeah.
I think Van Jefferson, if he's available, is an interesting ad in leagues, right? Like he could be a wide receiver 3 or better going forward.
Like, I wouldn't be surprised if the Rams offense has been so bad that I wouldn't be surprised if it's like this week we see the inactives and A-Rob's an inactive and McCutcheon is active and they just go McCutcheon Atwell. Like this is bad. Like, we have never seen a Sean McVay offense this bad, and like Allen Robinson is contributing nothing, like absolutely nothing. Whether it's his fault, whether it's Stafford's fault, the bottom line is it's just not working. Like, it's just not working. Yeah. So like and he doesn't play special teams. So I wouldn't be surprised to see like scratch and from McCutcheon or something like that. And then him and Atwell split it. So yeah, it's definitely I would watch the inactive list for Rams Panthers.
That's a bold call, but yeah, that nothing would surprise me right now. And we're about a month away from Odell Beckham possibly be signing with the Rams. So they have some options down the road. But right now, it is not working out with A-Rob. I mean, to say it.
If Odell Beckham got signed to the Rams, you would have Kupp, Odell, Van Jefferson. A-Rob does not play special teams. You have Skoranek. A-Rob would almost have to be a healthy scratch.
Just in case somebody misses time, that's kind of where his role would be.
Yeah.
Not good.
All right, let's build some lineups.
Let's do it.
DK. All right, you want to start us off?
We're on DK. Oh my God. Okay. Let me just do it. Ramondre Stevenson.
Yes.
At 6K.
Oh, so cheap. Too cheap.
He'll be chalky. I think everybody will have him inside their top 5 by the end of the week.
All right, let's go. I'm going Geno, man. 5,700. Too cheap.
There we go. All right. So since it's DK, does that mean DK? No, he's more of a FanDuel play. Let's see. Or both. Why not both, right?
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah. DK is actually cheaper than Lockett. Lockett's only 56 though on this.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Lockett. And you can decide if we double stack. But yeah, Lockett is way too cheap on DK. Pretty chalky team so far, not going to lie.
Right. Okay. We'll get some. Let's see. Okay, I don't think people are going to be too high on Kittle. So I have him as tight end 3 this week. So let's go with Kittle because there are some cheaper options. So let's pay up a little. Still pretty cheap, but 5,100.
You're trying to prevent me screwing it up with Isaiah Likely. I get it.
Oh man, I wish. When is it going to happen? It's got to happen sooner.
Oh man, I regret not taking the over. Kittle's reception prop was 3.5. The over was plus 110, and I backed off because I thought he was going to have to stay in chip block with Williams out and the backup left tackle, but
he's not.
That was easy.
Playing the normal routes
there.
Yeah.
Let's see. So I will go with the defense. Let's see what we got. Let's see. The Colts are decent at their price. Browns.
Patriots. Interesting.
Yeah, that is an interesting one, huh?
I mean, because we got Ramondre and they're playing.
Yeah.
The only thing is they run so much that they don't really give you a chance to stacks and stuff.
But I like it. I like just pairing the defense with Ramondre.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
2,900. So we got 61.75 for running back, 2 wideouts, and a flex. All right, let's see who we want our second running back to be. I mean, Saquon Barkley is the 4th highest guy, and he's my RB1. Let's see how much we would still have 5,600.
Draft both of our RB1s.
Yeah, so
why not?
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, because we still have 5,600 for the last 3. So let's go Saquon 7,700.
Nice. Okay, so have a decent 5,600 per player left. That's solid. Let's go with a cheaper. Let's see if we can find a contrarian. Oh, well, let's just go with Zay Jones at 4,200.
All right.
It's Zay Jones week again. Let's just stick him in there. And now, yeah, 6,400 the rest of the way. Not bad.
Not bad at all. Okay. Let's see.
Oh God, Rondale Moore's 4,200 as well. Jeez.
Oh yeah, I think we might have to. Yeah, let's do it because we got the Seahawks stack anyway. So.
God.
Oh wait, no. If we do that though, we're gonna have 86 left over. That actually, I mean, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah,
let's go Rondo.
Let's work backwards here. So
Rondo, 4,200. Okay. Yeah, so you get to pick between Stephon Diggs, Christian McCaffrey, Nick Chubb, Jonathan Taylor.
Or go with Gabe Davis and leave 2K on the table.
Right.
Okay, so McCaffrey.
Yeah.
Let's go with McCaffrey.
Love it. So we got
against zone heavy defense. Oh my God.
Yeah. So we got. Oh my! I think we got the top 3 running backs in our rankings.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that. Yeah.
Yeah. So we got Geno at quarterback for 5,700 against the Cardinals. Our running backs are Barkley 7,700 against the Ravens. Stevenson 6K against the Browns, and then McCaffrey in the flex 8,300 at the Rams. Our receivers are Tyler Lockett 5,600, Zay Jones 4,200, and Rondale Moore 4,200. Tight end George Kittle at 5,100, and we got the Patriots D at 2,900 stacked with Ramondre. So yeah,
love it. Guess how many receptions McCaffrey had the last time PJ Walker started for the Panthers? 10.
Yeah, I figured. PJ Walker, I mean, he's the XFL star, but
he would have been the MVP that year if it didn't get stopped short.
COVID
absolutely would have been MVP.
All right, let's jump over to Fanduel. All right, I'll start us off on Fanduel.
Okay.
Let's see. Let's go with Raheem Mostert. It's 6,500.
The perfect FanDuel play. Perfect.
Yep, I love you some Raheem Mostert.
Although he is getting some passing network.
Yeah.
It just hasn't translated yet.
It's
but
getting all the work.
It'll happen at some point. But yeah, the perfect FanDuel play right there. Let's go with Kenny Pickett.
Ooh, okay.
He is dirt cheap on FanDuel. Wow.
Yeah. 6,500.
He really sticks out there.
All right, then I'll go George Pickens. He's definitely a FanDuel type receiver. Still only 5,800. That should be going up. So yeah, we got Pickett, Pickens, and Raheem Mostert. So we're gonna have a good amount of salary.
This is the perfect FanDuel team so far. Not gonna lie. Let's see if we can keep it going. Okay, so let's look at wide receiver. Let's go with Romeo Dobbs at 5,500.
Ooh, wow.
We will have to spend cash at some point, but not now. Okay.
Right. I'll go with the defense just so we know exactly how much. Let's see. Giants. Let's go with the. Let's go with the. Do I want to go Colts or Rams? Yeah. No, I want to go Niners. Yeah, let's go with the Rams at 4,400.
Rams, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect.
So we got 7,800 to spend on a running back, wide receiver, tight end flex.
Jesus. Okay, so we're gonna have to spend up. Oh man, Ramondre is almost too cheap. Let's go with Justin Jefferson. Jefferson or Diggs?
Diggs.
Why not both? But
yeah. Or do we, well, we got to spend up. So we could go Cooper Kupp for all we, like, you don't have to.
Yeah, but we have the Rams D. I don't know if the Rams are going to have to throw much to put it. I mean, I like Jefferson at Miami. I like Diggs at KC. Maybe we go with Gabe Davis instead, but just have to spend up on one of those guys. Let's go with Jefferson.
All right. Jefferson. Okay, so now we got 7,300 for running back, tight end, flex. Let's go with Gabe Davis, 6,900.
All right, yeah.
So we got Pickens, Dobbs. Jefferson, Davis in a flex at 6,900. So we got running back and tight end, and you got 7,600. So you could go any tight end in almost any running back.
Any tight end. Okay, so we have Kelsey. Yeah, let's just go with Kelsey.
All right. 6,900 left for a running back. Don't want. We're gonna. Do you think ETN is too fan draft? Like, do you think he's?
Oh yeah.
I could go Walker. We could go Walker with. Walker.
Yeah, Walker is
right?
obviously much better for FanDuel. We probably have our chalkiest team yet.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Having picked, well.
Yeah, Pickett and Pickens. That's not going to be. I don't think that's going to be that chalky.
It should.
Not on this week.
Chalkier. But yeah, I do like this team overall. But
we got Mostert.
Walker's going to be chalky. It doesn't matter. I mean, at the end of the day, points are points.
I think Pickens, Mostert is not going to.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's enough. And maybe who knows? Maybe people will shy away from Kelsey because the Bills. I think they are number one.
I don't think people are going to shy away from Kelsey. Hopefully they do. Well, what's
Taysom Bill's number one in DVOA. Taysom Hill 7,800. That's a lot.
Oh man, yeah, that's
too much.
Okay, never mind. I thought people might be loading up on Hill here, but no, not that price. Either way, this is a good team with a very high ceiling. So the rostership might be higher than we would like, but overall solid team, especially for FanDuel.
We could go with like a different defense. I'm trying to. I think we should. Because we'll keep it. I like this team.
Yeah, no, it's good.
All right, so we got Pickett 6,500 against Tampa Bay. Raheem Mostert at 6,500 against Minnesota. Kenneth Walker at 6,500 against Arizona. Then we got Justin Jefferson at 9,200 at Miami. We have Romeo Dobbs 5,500 against the Jets. Gabe Davis in the flex at 6,900, and then our third receiver is George Pickens, who's stacked with Pickett. Pickens is 5,800. Our tight end is Kelsey at 8,300, and our defense is the Rams at 4,400. So,
I like it.
Very solid team. Yeah, I mean it's almost like a cash-worthy team if you take out Pickett and Pickens.
Yeah, the stack is probably the only thing I would change, but yeah, all these guys are like way too cheap and perfect for FanDuel.
Yep. All right, so that's going to do it, and that is going to do it for our week number 6 fantasy preview episode here on the Fantasy Flex. Again, if you want to hear more fantasy DFS content, be sure to check out our player projections episode, which is out right now on the Action Network podcast channel. And every Friday, you're going to have our night shift episode where Sean and I break down the Sunday and Monday night football DFS slates. Check out actionnetwork.com for all of our NFL betting and fantasy content, as well as fantasylabs.com for our DFS tools and models. Find us on Twitter. Sean is at _oddsmaker. I'm at Chris Raybon. And you can find us at those same handles on the free award-winning Action Network app. Until next time, let's get this shmoney.